Hey guys, it's Kaz here, and today I'm doing randomly generated books 9. So, if you haven't been here, this is an ongoing, reoccurring thing I do on my channel. Basically, I take a d20 dice, I do some rolling, and whatever I land on, that's the book I want to talk about. I started doing this because we generally just talk about the same books over and over again, so it's nice to talk about some other random stuff, hopefully. So this time, because I have 5 bookshelves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to be doing one off each bookshelf. So the first roll determines what shelf I'm going to be using. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the second roll is how many in I count. So if I rolled a 5 and then a 7, I would go here and then I'd count 7 inwards. Or if I got an 8 and a 7, I'll start from this side and count 7 in. So let's just get into it. First roll is for shelf 1. So I rolled 17 and 11. 17 was back up to the top shelf, and 11 in is The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. So this is a book that I read quite a few years ago. Also, yes, I've read it. That's the thing that we like to do with these videos. We like to see which ones I have read, what I haven't, and hope that I pick up more that I have read. Your girl's got a large TBR. So The Sky is Everywhere is about a girl whose sister dies, and it's basically about how she copes with grief. Her sister's boyfriend is also in the picture, so they're both just trying to figure out how to grieve each other for their girlfriend or their sister, and then they're kind of together trying to figure out how each one of them grieves and what that means to each other, and they form this sort of relationshipy type thing so they can both bounce off each other. I remember it being a really great book, but like I say, it's been many a year, but it was definitely great. Also, the sister that died used to write poetry everywhere, so throughout the book there's like little bits like this, where it's the main character finding notes that her sister has written on just throughout the neighbourhood. And yeah, it was a great time. So for shelf 2, I rolled 9 and 15, so that's this one. So 9 takes us to this shelf, and 15 along is Cinnamon Toast in the Underworld by Janet E. Cameron, and 2 for 2, I have read this one. Again, it was quite a while ago. So this one is a coming of age, the main character's gay but doesn't want to be gay. It's set in the 80s, so obviously there's a lot more stigma about it, and it was good. I remember crying. We love a cry. So basically the main character is in love with his best friend, who's a boy, and then he doesn't want his best friend to know, but he doesn't want to do anything about it. He kind of wants to run away from his small town, but also he's wondering what would happen if the person that you're in love with also likes you back. But with this one, there is violent homophobic thing that happens, so just be aware of that. It looks like it's going to be all fun and games from the cover and from the title, but it's not. It's pretty hard hitting, so just so you know. But it is a really good book, and I see no one talk about it, so there you go. So we're about halfway through. Well, as halfway through as you can be with a list of 5. So here's a message from one of our sponsors. Look deep into Monster's eyes and subscribe. Subscribe. We interrupt the usual sponsor proceedings because I have something to talk about. So all I know through my sister being an author has started a change.org petition that I want you guys to sign. So I don't know much about this, but apparently the NICE, which is very ironically named, guidelines for chronic pain is being changed, or is being proposed to be changed for the NHS, which again I'm not very clued up in, so I'm just going to read you a little bit from this petition. So basically the NICE guidelines are proposing to remove a lot of different treatments that people with chronic pain can have to help them with their day-to-day life, including removing things like ultrasound therapy, opioids, anti-epileptic drugs, even local anaesthetic and paracetamol. Which means that chronic pain users will only be left with 4 different solutions: CBT and acceptance therapy, acupuncture for 5 hours, antidepressants and exercise. How the government think this is going to help people with chronic pain, I have no idea, but sign this petition. Even if you're in America, I've signed a lot of American petitions, so even if you're in America, please sign this petition. It'll be linked below, along with Claire's Instagram, so you can follow her and find out more about what's happening. She deals with chronic pain and she used to be a healthcare professional, so she knows the stuff, and this is stupid. Sign the petition. Back to the video. Third roll is for graphic novel shelves. So I got 6 and 4. 6 takes me to the second shelf, because obviously it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know. And 4 in is Deadly Class Volume 6. So obviously I can't tell you much about this, but 3 for 3 have read. Great times. Because it's the 6th volume in, obviously. But Deadly Class is about a school for assassins. It follows Marcus, the main character, and he's a bit of a street urchin. His parents died in a crazy way, and he's just kind of really depressed. And it's also set in the 80s, and it's kind of dark, obviously. School for assassins, there's loads of murdering and that. Also, Marcus himself is very pretentious in the way he talks, because he narrates over the top and stuff happens, but the whole vibe of it's really fun. Also, the colour palette is very unique, although the first couple of volumes had a different colourist and I enjoyed them more. They changed and then they made it not as blocky coloury, but it still works. So read it if you want a graphic novel about school for assassins. Shelf 4 is my little mini one. So I rolled 14 and 1. And 1 in, very easy to count, is Mysterious Skin by Scott Haim. So, first of all, this is very, very dark, very, very harrowing. Content warnings, trigger warnings. The main, basically, plot is about 2 boys that were sexually abused as children. One of them remembers and is a prostitute, a male prostitute, and then within that line of work, also some bad shit happens. He gets beaten up by a John. The second one, blacked out, can't remember what happened, and thinks he was abducted by aliens as a child, so his plotline is him trying to get in contact with the aliens again, and he has this weird romance with this weird woman. So, going in, there you go. If you can't deal with any of that, then don't read it. Oh, also, 4 for 4 have read. I think this is the best I've ever done. So yeah, really dark, really harrowing. You can probably tell that is Joseph Gordon-Levitt on the front. That is because there's also a movie of this book with Joseph Gordon-Levitt playing the prostitute one. That is how I found this. I watched the movie first and then found out it was a book, read the book. Again, one I read a really long time ago. I feel like I'm dragging out the oldies in this video. Many years ago. Yeah, really dark, really harrowing, but also a great read. And last but not least, we have the 5th roll, which is the Black Bookcase. So here we rolled 7 and 12, and that book is Columbine by Dave Cullen, and I think possibly for the first time ever, 5 out of 5 have read. So I mean, number 9 randomly generated books is a win. So I read this one earlier this year, in fact, and I'm sure you all know what this is about. It's about Columbine. It's about the shooting that happened in Columbine in the 90s. Honestly, I didn't really know that much about the actual what happened. Obviously I knew the basic premise of what happened, but going into this book I didn't really know much about it, and it was very informative and a really great book. Obviously it's about a school shooting and children dying in real life, so if you don't want to read about that, then obviously this is not for you. We've got some pretty harrowing books out here as well in this go. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think I gave it 5 on Goodreads perhaps, but to me it was 4.5, just because I felt like some of the people that died didn't get as much of a say in this book than others. Like some of them had a big part of it, a storyline. I don't like to say that about real people, but some of the people were only mentioned once or twice, and I felt like they should have had their own section to be remembered by. That was the only thing negative about this, but it was a great book. It's also written non-linear, so it'll be like on the day of the school shooting, and then the next chapter will be like 2 years before, and then the next one will be the month after. So just know that going in as well. So there we have it, randomly generated books number 9 officially in the bag. So number 10 is a milestone. 10 videos in the same series, imagine that. I totally forgot that this series even existed for about 6 months. So when we get to number 10, it's pretty decent. Let me know down below if there's anything specific you want for that, or whether you just like this format of me just finding whatever. Is there a specific shelf that you want me to talk about stuff on? Do you like this one of each? Do you want me to just stick with this? Do you not care? Say some words down below and I'll reply. And if this is your first video by me and you enjoy it, then please check out some of my others. And if you continue to enjoy, then please subscribe, that'd be awesome. Anyway guys, I'll see you in a few days with another video. Bye.